What's going on YouTube? It's Frank. Just want to make a quick video. So this is a poor man's track saw. Um, Let me start by saying that I built this table because I got tired of having sawdust in my garage. So I built this at a 2x4. The bottom plate is Luan. It's $17 a sheet for a 2x4, so I bought two of those. I do work on it, drill on it, do routering. So as it goes bad, I just flip it over. So I've had the table for a couple of months. It has come in handy. All right, so I'm building a speaker enclosure. This is MDF, 3/4 inch. The sides are square. So back to the poor man's track saw. So I was told about this back in my 20s. My dad's friend was a carpenter, and he saw that I was trying to build a speaker box, and I was trying to freehand it with the circular saw. He's like, go to Home Depot and get either an aluminum L bracket or whatever you call these things, either aluminum or steel. Of course, I got the cheapest one. It was flexing. It didn't do any good. But instead, I did buy this thicker aluminum. It's 1/8 inch thick times 96. I did use it, so it's not, I did use part of it, so it's not 96 inches anymore. But I've had this one for a couple of years. So anyway, what you want to do is, since you know everything is square, just measure. So just measure, and the cut that you want to make. Go ahead and measure this out. I know that on this side it's 1.5 inches, and I forget what this side is, but I always use this side to keep the math simple. So I bought these clamps at Harbor Freight, and the only thing that I can say is this thing gives you really straight cuts. So to show you how straight this thing cuts, so I ripped this yesterday. On 14. Where are we? Oh, hold on. This has to be over here. 14. So this thing is awesome. Now, going back to the clamps, if you choose to use these clamps with the rubber footies, this morning I kept getting 1/16 of an inch off, and I couldn't figure out why. And I would measure from there to here. I would add, or I should say I would subtract 1.5 inches, because this is where the circular saw rides. So that's 1.5 inches. That is perfect. All right, so going back to this. I measured 1.5 inches back, but I was still getting 1/16 of an inch off. So one thing I found, as you tighten this, it's gonna walk, because it spins clockwise, it moves to the right, and it's throwing off my numbers. With these, I lost the little booties, so it's just metal. So this one does not tend to walk like these. These tend to walk because of these things. So anyway, this track saw, the track saw that I wanted to buy, it's a couple of hundred. So that was out of the question. So I went back to what I was taught, and it gives me cuts just as straight as a track saw that everyone raves about. All right, so I cleaned off my area because I'm actually going to measure in a second. So what I did to verify was whatever was here on this side, I added 1/16 of an inch, and then when I clamped it down, it still went back to the original reading. It was supposed to be 1 3/8 on that side, and then here It was 1 3/8 also, so I just went just 1/16 more. And then when I tighten it down, like I said, so I had to keep tightening this down and measuring. So let's see where we are. Oh, also, if you want to use this track saw, since it rides on such a short ledge, you have to have another piece of 3/4 inch to keep it level. If you try to freehand it, the blade's going to cut on an angle. So that's one. That's two. All right, so let's measure. So we're looking at 42. So 42 3/8. Switch hands. Let's push this down. So as it sits, great. So right there, 42 3/8. So this thing really works well. But yeah, so the investment, I think this was like 20 something dollars for this piece. This table was scrap, but I did pay $35 for these two pieces, 17 something per sheet. So I would highly recommend using this thing because you will get accurate cuts. Just only thing is be careful with these things walking. Measure 3 or 4 times. I made some cuts yesterday, and what I did was so I measured from here on an angle, and whatever this reading was, I did the same thing here. And even though it's like this, I was getting consistency, and I think it's because I was using these to clamp this down. But this morning I used this one. So anyway, I'm kind of rambling, but this is an awesome tool. You don't have to spend, you know, $500-600. You can just use this thing. All right, I hope this helps someone out. Leave, comment, subscribe. Thanks a lot.